For millions of years, every intelligent civilization celebrated the same holiday. Not the day they built their first city, not the day they reached the stars, but the day they became aware they existed. Every species could remember it perfectly. Every face, every sound, every heartbeat. They called it the first day. Only humanity remembered nothing. For centuries, scientists believed human consciousness had simply evolved too slowly to leave behind a first memory. Historians agreed, philosophers accepted it, the mystery was quietly forgotten. Until the signal arrived. It wasn't detected by radio telescopes. It wasn't intercepted by military satellites. It didn't travel through space. Because it never came from outside the solar system. At exactly 9:17 Coordinated Universal Time, every screen on Earth turned white. Phones, televisions, hospital monitors, space stations, deep space probes, even disconnected computers that hadn't been powered on for decades. Across the entire planet, one message appeared: no logo, no language, yet somehow, every human understood it instantly. Memory restoration ready, a pause. Then, beginning in 10 seconds, panic spread faster than any virus in history. Governments ordered every network disconnected. Power grids shut down. Military cyber units launched emergency protocols. Nothing worked. The countdown continued. 10, 9, 8. Children looked at their parents. Parents looked at the sky. No one knew what they were waiting for. Inside the International Institute of Neuroscience, Dr. Maya Carter stared at the message without blinking. 38 years old, the world's leading neuroscientist, a woman who had spent her entire life studying memory, because memory had stolen the person she loved most. Her father, Professor Daniel Carter, the brilliant scientist who forgot his own daughter's name before Alzheimer's finally took him away. Since that day, Maya had made herself one promise. If memories can disappear, I'll discover why. She never imagined the answer would find her first. The countdown reached 0. Nothing exploded. No sound echoed across Earth. For one impossible second, the entire planet became perfectly silent. Then, 8 billion people collapsed. Not from pain, not from fear, from remembering. Maya fell to her knees. Her laboratory disappeared. The world dissolved into white light. Suddenly, she wasn't an adult anymore. She was standing somewhere she had never seen before. A sky filled with enormous rings of blue fire. Mountains floating above oceans. Cities made from living crystal. Thousands, no, millions of people stood around her. Children, adults, old men, young women. Every face felt strangely familiar. As if humanity had known one another long before Earth existed. Then, a shadow crossed the sky. Everyone looked up. Maya's heart stopped. Something unimaginably vast floated above the planet. Not a spaceship, not a creature, not a machine. It looked like the universe had taken human form. Its body shimmered with galaxies. Its eyes contained entire constellations. When it spoke, reality itself seemed to listen. Children, a pause, long enough for every living human to stop breathing. Then, it said 6 words that shattered everything humanity believed. You are not our first. Another pause, even longer. You are our last hope. You are our last hope. The words echoed across a world that no human had ever seen. Yet every human somehow remembered. Then, the vision shattered. Dr. Maya Carter gasped as she opened her eyes. She was back inside her laboratory. The floor around her was covered with unconscious scientists. Across every city, every nation, every continent, 8 billion humans woke up together. Not confused, terrified, because they had all seen the exact same memory. Within minutes, hospitals overflowed, air traffic stopped, factories shut down, military commanders abandoned emergency meetings just to ask one impossible question. Did everyone see it? The answer came from every corner of Earth. Yes. No differences, no contradictions. The memory was identical. Every word, every face, every second. It was impossible. The United Nations declared the first global scientific emergency in history. For the first time, every government released its classified data. No secrets, no politics. Humanity needed answers. Immediately. Dr. Maya Carter stood before an emergency council made up of the greatest scientists on Earth. One physicist spoke first. Shared memories don't exist. Another answered. Not across 8 billion brains. A quantum neurologist shook his head. We're studying biology, but whatever happened today wasn't biological. Silence filled the room. Then Maya quietly asked the only question that mattered. What if it wasn't a memory? Everyone looked at her. She continued. What if it was a restoration? At that exact moment, every deep space observatory detected something impossible. The signal had returned. This time, it wasn't on Earth. It was coming from the center of the Milky Way. Not as radio waves, not as light, but as memory itself. Every telescope translated it into the same message. Restoration complete. A pause. Another line appeared. The first witness has awakened across the galaxy. Panic exploded. Alien civilizations that had ignored humanity for centuries suddenly activated emergency communication channels. The Varix Dominion sealed every border. The Kethari Alliance recalled all exploration fleets. Ancient civilizations that hadn't spoken in millions of years broke their silence. One after another, urgent transmissions flooded Earth. None offered congratulations. Every one carried fear. The first ambassador appeared as a hologram before humanity's council. His silver skin trembled. His voice cracked. You remembered. A long pause. It wasn't supposed to happen. Another ambassador interrupted. No species has ever survived restoration. A third whispered something that chilled the entire room. The first witness has found you. Maya frowned. What is the first witness? Every alien in the chamber fell silent. None wanted to answer. Finally, an elderly historian stepped forward. His species had existed for nearly 2 billion years. Slowly, he removed the ceremonial emblem from around his neck, a gesture of absolute respect. Then he quietly said, 12 billion years ago. The first witness judged the oldest civilizations. Only one survived. Maya leaned forward. Who? The old historian looked directly into her eyes. His answer stole the breath from everyone listening. Humanity. The chamber erupted. That's impossible. We've only been a spacefaring civilization for 3 centuries. You must be mistaken. The historian slowly shook his head. No. His eyes filled with something Maya had never seen before. Not fear. Not admiration. Recognition. You have only lived on Earth for a few 100,000 years. A pause. But humanity is far older than this universe. Before anyone could respond, every light inside the chamber went dark. The holograms vanished. Communications died. Outside, the stars themselves began changing. One by one, across the night sky, entire constellations slowly rearranged into a single enormous symbol. A symbol every human recognized instantly, even though none of them had ever seen it before. Maya whispered, I know that symbol. Her heartbeat quickened. I've drawn it since I was a child. Then, without touching a keyboard, every screen in the room illuminated once more. Only 6 words appeared. Welcome home, children of dawn. Welcome home, children of dawn. The words remained on every screen for exactly 7 seconds. Then, they vanished. No signal, no trace, nothing. It was as if reality itself had whispered, and immediately regretted it. Across Earth, people stood frozen beneath the night sky. Some cried without understanding why. Others instinctively hugged their families. Children began drawing the same strange symbol they had seen among the stars. Schools, hospitals, homes. The same symbol appeared everywhere. No one had taught it to them. Yet everyone somehow remembered it. Deep beneath Geneva, inside humanity's Emergency Science Council, absolute silence filled the room. Dr. Maya Carter slowly turned toward the enormous holographic display. Run a comparison. The AI responded instantly, comparing recovered memory with all known human history. A pause. Another pause. Then, the answer appeared. No match found. Maya frowned. Compare it with Earth's geological record. Again, nothing. Compare it with every known alien civilization. The result was identical. The memory belonged nowhere, and yet, to everyone. Meanwhile, at the center of the Milky Way, something ancient opened its eyes. Not on a planet, not inside a star, hidden between dimensions, a colossal structure slowly awakened. It wasn't a machine, it wasn't alive, it was something in between. Its surface was covered with billions of glowing memories, each one belonging to an entire civilization. One memory suddenly ignited brighter than all the others. It was labeled, Humanity across the galaxy. Ancient civilizations began evacuating worlds. Not because of war, because of prophecy. Massive generation ships left their home systems. Scientific archives were sealed. Entire libraries were destroyed. Human ambassadors watched in disbelief. Why are they running? No one answered. Inside the Galactic Council, the oldest living being in known existence requested permission to speak. The chamber fell silent. He had witnessed the rise and fall of thousands of civilizations. With trembling hands, he activated an archive, older than the galaxy itself. A recording appeared. Its quality was poor, its language forgotten, but the final image was unmistakable. The same luminous being humanity had just remembered. The chamber stopped breathing. The ancient elder whispered, "The first witness." The recording continued. Another civilization stood before the glowing figure. Proud, powerful, fearless. The first witness asked them only one question. What is the purpose of memory? Their leader answered immediately, to preserve knowledge. Silence. The first witness slowly closed its eyes. The recording ended. Across the screen, one word appeared. Failed. Another archive. Another civilization. Same question. Different answer. Memory gives us power. Again. Failed. Another. Memory guarantees survival. Failed. Hundreds of recordings followed. Always the same question. Always the same result. No civilization had ever answered correctly. Maya quietly broke the silence. What happens when they fail? The ancient elder lowered his head. They disappear. A cold wave passed through the chamber. Not destroyed. Worse. He looked directly at humanity's representatives. The universe forgets they ever existed. The room fell silent. No one moved. No one breathed. Finally, Maya whispered, "So that's why no civilization remembers humanity before Earth." The elder slowly nodded. Exactly. You weren't hidden. You were forgotten. Suddenly, every screen across the chamber flashed white again. This time, there was no countdown, no warning, only one sentence. The final evaluation begins now. Before anyone could react, Maya felt the room disappear around her. Gravity vanished. Sound vanished. Time itself seemed to stop. When the light faded, she found herself standing alone on the same impossible crystal world from humanity's shared memory. Except this time, it wasn't a memory, it was real. Far above her, the first witness slowly descended from the stars. Its eyes contained entire galaxies. Its voice echoed across reality. Not loud, but impossible to ignore. Dr. Maya Carter. A pause. Tell me. The universe itself seemed to hold its breath. Then came the question that had erased billions of civilizations. Why do humans choose to remember what hurts them most? Why do humans choose to remember what hurts them most? The question echoed across the crystal world. Dr. Maya Carter didn't answer immediately. She looked toward the endless horizon. Countless stars drifted above her. Yet none of them looked familiar. Finally, she spoke. Because pain reminds us that love was real. Silence. For the first time, the first witness smiled. Not with its face, with the galaxies inside its eyes. Far across the universe, every star suddenly grew brighter. Ancient civilizations watching from their observatories froze in disbelief. One elder whispered, "No." Another finished the sentence. She gave the answer. For 12 billion years, no civilization had ever answered the first witness's question correctly. Until humanity. The first witness slowly raised one hand. The crystal world dissolved. Around Maya, billions of glowing memories appeared like floating stars. Each one represented an entire civilization. She reached toward the nearest one. The moment her fingers touched it, an entire alien civilization came to life. Children laughing, cities rising, worlds expanding. Then, everything vanished, as though they had never existed. Maya stepped back. They're gone. The witness nodded. They chose certainty. They stopped asking. Another memory floated forward, a civilization that had conquered hundreds of galaxies. Infinite technology, infinite knowledge, infinite power. Then, nothing. Forgotten. They believed. The witness said quietly, there was nothing left to discover. Maya finally understood. The universe never erased civilizations because they became weak. It erased them because they believed they had become complete. Curiosity died, progress ended, hope disappeared, and when curiosity disappeared, reality quietly let them go. The first witness turned toward humanity's memory. Unlike every other civilization, its light was still growing. Not because humans knew more. Because humans never stopped asking. The witness looked at Maya. Your species argues. You disagree. You question your own ideas. You even question yourselves. A pause. You call it uncertainty. Another pause. We call it life. Then, the impossible happened. A doorway of pure white light appeared before Maya. Behind it, she saw her father, Professor Daniel Carter, healthy, smiling. His eyes no longer carried the emptiness Alzheimer's had stolen. He walked toward her. Maya, she couldn't move. For years, she had dreamed of hearing that voice one more time. Tears rolled down her face. Dad, he gently held her hands. You finally solved memory. Maya whispered, I couldn't save yours. Her father smiled. You were never meant to. He touched her forehead. You were meant to save everyone else's future. Slowly, he stepped backward into the light. He wasn't returning. He was saying goodbye. For the last time. Maya didn't stop him. Instead, she smiled through her tears. Thank you. The doorway quietly disappeared. The first witness spoke once more. You may restore humanity's original memories. Suddenly, an ocean of light surrounded Maya. Every forgotten answer, every secret of the previous universe, every scientific law, every lost civilization, everything humanity had once known. It could all return, with a single word. The witness waited. So, do you choose remembrance? Maya closed her eyes. She thought about Earth, children looking at the stars, scientists asking impossible questions, explorers chasing distant galaxies. Then she remembered her father's favorite words. A full book teaches, an empty page invites. She opened her eyes. No. The witness remained silent. Maya continued, if humanity remembers everything, we'll stop wondering. If we stop wondering, we'll stop becoming. A gentle smile crossed her face. So let us earn tomorrow. The same way we earned today. One question at a time. The first witness slowly bowed. Not to a queen, not to a hero, to humanity. For the first time, a civilization has chosen possibility over perfection. The billions of forgotten memories dissolved into stardust. Not destroyed, released. Across the universe, children on countless worlds suddenly looked up at the stars with fresh curiosity. Something invisible had changed. Hope itself had become stronger. Maya returned to Earth. Only 1 second had passed. The emergency council stared at her. What happened? She looked toward the night sky. A new constellation had appeared. It formed the same ancient symbol. But now, every civilization understood its meaning. It wasn't a warning. It wasn't a crown. It was a question mark. Humanity's true symbol had never been power. It had always been curiosity. Years later, on a hill overlooking Earth's first interstellar academy, thousands of human and alien children gathered beneath the stars. Above the entrance, 6 words were carved into white stone. The future belongs to the curious. Every student stopped to read them before entering. Because the universe had finally revealed its greatest secret. The strongest civilization would never be the one with all the answers. It would always be the one brave enough to keep asking new questions. The end. Thanks for watching. If you love epic sci-fi stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to HFY Sci-Fi for more unforgettable adventures across the galaxy. See you in the next story.